burning these fields and stuff like that. And they've been inherently doing that for a period of time. And now the only reason that the government has ever admitted that Area 51 exists is because of these bonfires that these families were getting affected because they sued the U.S. government for some some recognition on a lot of people got affected. A lot of people passed away because of these bonfires. They were basically burning unknown chemicals in in these things, and they were getting lung cancer and all this other crazy stuff, which is truly sad, right? When you're just doing your job, thinking that you're safe because the employee or employer that has your best interest in mind has checked that out, made sure that everything was good, but then you find out later that wasn't necessarily the case, right? So that's how Area 51 got on the mark because not only they had to address the lawsuit, they had to admit that Area 51 exists. So in that prospect, that lawsuit they won quite a few people. Now I'm hearing that News Nation is interviewing those veterans. They're doing more lawsuits, I'm understanding, and they're basically trying to get repentance on what they're missing, right? And of course, half the people that were initially in the original lawsuit, I'm understanding, have passed away since then. So that in itself is horrific, right? With the UFO Area 51 thing, and initially what's going on and stuff like that. All right. So yeah, that's basically what's been happening there. Let's do some other stuff here. Let's talk about some other news that we can hopefully talk about. I heard, I haven't found it, but I heard somewhere where basically Iran has came out after the nuclear sites were shot down or basically blew up. That Iran comes out and says that America is run by tall whites. Totally random, right? Why would they state that? Like from all the things that they would talk about, right? They're talking about you you're run by like you just exploded my freaking or my nuclear um capabilities. Like that's an odd statement. Like that was supposed to like be the clincher, right? Like you think like I got you now. That's so random, right? From all things to state. Why was that so important to state? That's pretty odd, right? In itself. So other things, conspiracy, all conspiracy it is really odd to have where in the midst of them in Congress stating that they want to visit the Area 51, that you have veterans coming out with the cancer thing that's been going on for a long time, which is pretty sad, right? Um, do you think the U.S. government would like take care of their people, and then you have to go into a lawsuit because no one takes accountability? That's what it seems. But other things that's been going on here. We've been getting a lot of major floods. Oh, thank you for the gift. I appreciate it, Estra. I think that was Estra. I don't know who gave me a gift. I'm sorry, guys. Tina, thank you, Tina, for the gift. Sorry about that. So I think that initially what we need to know is that why would Iran, after being shut down, right, by a nuclear strike, I mean, not nuclear strike, but, all right, Astra, why would Iran, from all the statements they can make after being their nuclear plants being shut down and exploded. Why would they make the statement that the U.S. is being run by tall whites? That's like a random statement to state. Like, why would you go out of your way to state something like that? That inherently is odd, right? Speaking of Iran, I do have some savings here. Not with Iran, but other stuff with Iran. Let me make sure I'm on the right thing here because I got two news feeds coming through. There's so much stuff on the news that come through that you can't just talk about all the latest news. You're always trying to catch up, right? There's always a catching up, and that's what I'm trying to do. Is like, hey, I just talk about stuff I didn't get to make a video, and then that will conclude my catching up, right? And I'm sure you guys, have seen it or what it weren't heard about. I read it on the mist, revise it, and keep on rolling. So I figured that'd be a nice, like a little recap, that we can just catch up with stuff that we haven't heard yet, or we have heard, or just touch on it a little bit, just to keep it. This morning I was going to go live for a period of time and do the recap thing. I know I did a video. I'm trying to associate my videos alongside with my lives, so I have some structure as far as what is the live about, why you guys are tuning in, why I'm doing this, and it's on the midst of me posting the video about Area 51. Um, and I figured I'd go start with the segment with that Area 51 since I just made a video of that. But of course, how you guys know, it's live and it goes off the rails. So, but let's go here. Okay, so since we was talking about Iran or Iranian, right? Booga Booga Booga, Booga Booga Sphere. Oh, there was a new sighting. Yeah, I heard about the new sighting with the Booga Sphere. It was he was in the city this time. And then I heard from a creator here recently that they figured out that it was he's stating that it was held by a fishing line. I did see a video of the Booga Sphere being held by a fishing line. So, like I said, that's what I'm saying. It's like people are coming out of the woodwork and they're doing these fake videos now, right? That's why I'm saying when something initially breaks through and someone starts to take advantage and try to keep up with the phenomenon, yeah, start backing away from it. Like it could have been like example. I don't know if anybody heard, but the the which I should make a video about that, right? I should make a video tonight about it. But the creatures that they found in Mexico, um, what's that say? Planning the Buga lets out evaporated water like it's reflecting. Yeah, they got video of that. That's pretty crazy. The video I seen is the guy had his hand on there, and they were pouring water, and it was evaporating. It wasn't burning his hand. That in itself is really strange, right? And and this is what I was thinking, right? What if what if we had a defective boogosphere, right? That throughout the millennia, one of these craft land shuts down or goes into like a hibernating state, like every few thousand years or I don't know, a millennia, I don't know. Um, will reactivate and go flying and do the testing and all. But during the duration of the time in which it was in this, I want to say, in this kind of like sleep mode, any civilization during that time picked it up and start drawing on it, started making stuff on it. And then eventually, after worshiping as it was a god for who knows how long, then this thing activated and flew away. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I state that, the reason why I'm speculating that, is because the bent sphere had no markings. The bent sphere in Florida that happened in 1974 had no markings. It was a solid, complete sphere, no markings around it, right? It reacted to sound frequency. It followed people. If they placed it on the floor, people in the house were walking around and it would follow them. Uh, so inherently, that was really odd. Eventually, speaking about that family in Florida, right? The Benz family. Eventually, the property was taken over by basically government land, right? It's a park now. It's part of a park, a national park, a protected park, right? How ironic, right? From all places that you can try to investigate. Now the building is abandoned. Of course, the house is abandoned. You can't go in there and start digging out stuff, right? So that's kind of odd. And it so happens to fall in the midst of um, this weird situation that happened, right? So that's one of the coolest things. That Crystal Skull has spheres designed on it. Um, I don't necessarily know about that. I did hear about they were doing lasers and feeding it through the crystal skulls. And the reason why I only know about that is because Coast to Coast Live, we're interviewing this guy named Bill that currently owns the Boogosphere, right? And he works alongside a female, and I can't remember her name, but she does like tarot and all this other stuff, and she reads the Boogosphere. I don't know inherently how necessary strong, but the research that they have stated was that through the lasers, they seen like a projection coming through its eyes of basically they're saying four different creatures, four alien creatures that would be projected if it was introduced lasers through the skull. So they have that documented. They did that and they're holding that, right? So also um, they have after the last testing of the crystal skull, they um they stopped it from being tested. The reason why is because when they got it back, the crystal skull that this guy owned, Bill, that was interviewed on Coast to Coast, the tooth, one of the canines were chipped off the crystal skull. You guys got to remember these crystal skulls are quartz, made out of quartz. Okay, so the scratches, the dings, the basically because you think about like people are talking about, oh no, they seen markings on the crystal skull. And it's like, wait a second, guys, this thing been around for a very long time. Okay, the crystal skulls. They're testing it, they're moving it around, they're placing down on things, they're testing with objects. They're going to scrape it up. They're going to scratch it up. Those cuts and scrapes might necessarily been of the creation of these crystal skulls. Because when the initial reports came out, if you guys remember, when initial reports came out about the crystal skulls, it was seamless. It was perfect. No markings. No markings whatsoever. It was like perfect creation, these crystal skulls. And then now you have where it's now it's markings. Yeah, no shit, asshole. Yeah, because you guys marked it for playing around with your little science, little configurations, poking and prodding. You're gonna mark it up. So that's just one of those things, I guess, right? I wish they had done more testing, but I mean, I don't know if the laser thing is ever going to be published because he said it in an interview, and they didn't say necessarily if the crystal skull going to do any more testing. The last time that Bill that was interviewed stated that he's no longer going to do testing on the crystal because of the damaging of the crystal skull, right? So that's food for thought. I wish he's get some more interviews out, and I know that people will come out to his location and touch the crystal skull, and basically get this like kind of download, right? So that is unique in itself, right? So let me get to the comments here. See if sorry guys, I've been oh my god, I'm touching the screen. My laptop is not you don't touch the screen. Try to touch the screen like my cell phone. What trip. Let's see where he's going here. Yeah, I missed the conversation here. I guess if you guys have any questions, just repeat it again. Sorry about that. Yeah, I know, right, Tina? Like, this guy, let's answer the question. I'm sorry, guys, I missed the question. If I go back, I'm going to scroll back for a while, and then the whole segment's going to be just me scrolling in silence, not saying anything. I'm just looking at the screen. 6 new messages. Well, okay. All artifacts have common denominator chip on long. You can't be over here, baby. Go over there. Okay. Sunglasses. You look like a gangster. Go. 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 Thank you. I love you. You're the best. All right. All right. Yeah. Common denominator chip or the bug. Yeah, and here's the thing. When this Sphere came out, right? I don't want to make the whole segment about it, but we're on the topic, so we're going for it. So when this Sphere came out, suddenly you had a whole bunch of sculptures and designs appearing, right? Appearing, showing up. Instantaneous, my radar, my bug sensors said BS. The reason why is because people like to take advantage of something new. Suddenly they're appearing a whole bunch of sculptures, a whole bunch of stuff coming on, and people are talking about that. And they blah blah blah. You know? That's that that being said. How about the fifth dimension? Corina? Alright, so my video, how do you pronounce it? Hola one. Hola one. El número uno. All right, so on the fifth dimension, she talks about how she was thinking. If you guys are wondering, it was a past video that I made with I can't remember her name now, but she's a physicist. She had 30 years. She was interviewing, or they were in a location where it was 2 physicists from the CERN project that she was sitting at her desk at her table, and they got to talking, they got to drinking beer and all this other stuff, and start interrogating. Okay, well, you know about the CERN project, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And one of them, both of them, she asked, how many dimensions are there? They both sort of well, it's not certain things. It was like, well, how many dimensions are? Come on, guys. I'm just here. There's nobody, right? And both of them at the same time says 17 dimensions. 17 dimensions. Okay. Both of them. Both of them. Now, for quite some time, you guys are going to hear this first, and you're not going to hear this anywhere else. For quite some time, I have been stating this in my private circles. I have stated this a few times. I did quite a bit of research. I believe there's 365 dimensions. They have worked on discovering 17 dimensions, okay? They are going to continue to discover there are more dimensions. I'm telling you this right now. You guys are hearing this right now. Screen record this because you're not going to believe your ears. 365 dimensions. How do I know this? Because every ancient culture have stated this. In scripture, in the Bible, they have 365 reasons. I'm doing this with my hands. You guys are wondering what the hell that noise is. Hey, what's up, Ninja? How you doing, brother? I'm going through. Let's recap Friday. We're going through everything. Stuff, missing news, stuff that's been broadcast. I think we just go through everything. Anything that I don't know, that's what we're doing right now. So this wasn't recorded. This wasn't played in the original one that I was talking about. We're talking about the lady that's talking about the dimensions, right? So The scientist said 17 dimensions. We have discovered 17 dimensions currently right now, right? Both of them said that at the same time. They enthusiastically with 100% 17 dimensions. My point being, this is from me, okay? I believe there's 365 different dimensions. And it corroborates with ancient scriptures, corroborates with the Bible phenomenon with how many times this it says do not fear or do not be fearful. 365, right? Also, you have Egypt. The scriptures are there talking about inherit 365 um, realms. That's how they say it. Also, you have I believe is was not the skull and bones, but the other one. The what is it called? It's not the Knights Templar. It's the other one that they work with their hands. Um, the other secret society thing. I can't remember what it is. Well, anyway, probably someone knows in the chat what I'm talking about. They stated that there's 364 uh, dimensions of levels, right? And there's a hidden dimension. Freemason. You see, I knew someone was out there smarter than me. There you go. The Freemasons state this. There's 364 realms, and there's a hidden realm. There's a hidden realm, which would be 365. Okay. What's kind of funny is that we have 365 days, and then leap year is 364. Food for thought, right? Food for thought. So that is, and it is a few other more segments of different societies that are touching on that same number. On that same number. That's the thing. They're touching on that same number. How did I come to this? You know how you get there and you hear these voices sometime in your head? Not trying to sound crazy. That little voice has saved my butt so many times. That being said, I started doing research. I'm like, what? I've talked to ChatGPT, like, hey, this 365 dimension thing, what in our data information, right, of this 365 dimensions. I was meaning to make a video about this, but you guys are hearing this firsthand. So I'm just, since we're on the topic with the 17 dimension lady, and yeah, intuition just striking me and saying 365. So I'm like, 365 dimensions? Where in society did they say that? And then you go down this hole and you realize not only that you got these parallels of the 365 continuous throughout our history of cultures and stuff like that, it goes into Freemasonry, it goes into Egypt, it goes into the India. They go into this thing about the 365. 365 continues into our calendar, right? And it goes into the Bible. They don't directly state anything about dimensions. Let me clarify. But they do state about inherited prayers of keeping you safe, keeping you not afraid. 365 throughout the Bible. So every dimension realm that you fall and cascade through, keep yourself protected, keep yourself that common denominator, right? Do not fear. And then what's really interesting is that you got the Freemasons. I got this on my chat, man. I wonder if he'd be able to remember because chat, man, is a trip, bro. Trap is let's see here, because you like do research, it saves it, and then it would save it under a different name. or a different title. So you're looking for it and you're like, hey, I didn't put it under that name. Oh, let's go live. Let's see if we can go live here. If it lets me. Let's see if it lets me. What would you like to discuss? Oh, it's looking weird again. The chat box is looking weird. Oh. So, can you tell me more about what's happening? Maybe it seems like looking like error. All right, let me do this. Let me boost up the volume so you guys can hear it firsthand, and we can do. Nope. Sure thing. Let me know if you need any help or if there's anything specific you'd like to talk about. All right, let's see if chat remembers here. Hey, chat. Do you remember the segment we were talking about 365 dimensions and how we put basically did some research on how does that correlate with different religions and different societies throughout the generations? It might not remember. Yes, I remember. All right, we discussed how interdimensional beings could be an alternative explanation for UFOs and paranormal phenomena. This theory often intersects with various. No, not that one. It's the 365 dimensions, and how the Freemasons talked about it, how Egypt talked about it. That's the theory that I have. Ah, right. We discussed the concept of dimensions and how some theories, including those by certain secret societies, like the Freemasons, have talked about concepts of multiple dimensions. It's fascinating how different cultures and societies have had their interpretations and theories around dimensions and reality. It's a complex and intriguing topic. All right, so we went through how the Freemasons had this 364, I believe, and then they had a secret dimension that would be basically this 365th dimension. Let's see if it remembers. No, it went silent. Chad, you there? Not talking to you, Maria. Yep, it went mute there. Just lost it. Go figure, right? Let me see here. Let me see. I just had no sound detected. Check your audio. Uh-oh. I think I froze. Yeah, nope, not today. Sometimes that's what was risky, man. You had these comments. Let me put it in, and then they like, we could talk to it privately, and we have no problem. But when it's for real, it is. See what it has here. It store banks, right? All right, 360 dimensions. All right, let's see what it has here. Okay. All right, here we go. Here we go. He did save the file. For some reason, he didn't want to talk about it. But right here, ancient civilizations, the Babylonian summary used 360 systems for time and space. Maya, you can't come over here. Go. Go. I need you to leave. I love you too. I can give you all the hugs later. You want to shut down my live because of you. Go. Thank you. All right, guys. All right, so they got the Babylonians summary used 360 systems for time and space. Okay, the Babylonians with 5 extra. What's that say? Apogonial days were seen as a sacred, dangerous belief to be dimensional bleed through days. All right, so it has 365 dimensions or systems, right? And you have 5 extra bleed through days. So basically, These 5 dimensions that will bleed through into our reality. Is that or is that not weird, right? Is that or is that not weird? Egypt, calendar, 365 days originated from myth, thus created 5 extra days for God's birth, our outside time like divine dimensional interference. Also, 365 dimensions, 360, and then 5 extra days that will interfere, that basically same premise, that will intersect with our dimension, warping in and out of our dimensions. These 5 dimensions were coming in and out of each other. Same premise. That's Egypt now. All right, let's go into China. The Tosi cosmology speaks of 365 celestial departments of influence and fate. See how this is weird? How all this comes together? It's strange how that comes together, right? The Feng Shui considers 365 directions of flow of chi. You see how it continuously, and that's just one thing right there, right? Scripture and apocryphal. I don't know what that is. Gnosticism. So we have described 364 archon rulers, each one guarding dimensional layers. Bro, yo, I'm telling you, it just goes down in segments, the same premise with this 365 dimension thing, right? The Book of Jubilee, okay? The Book of Jubilee uses 364-day calendar. A 365 day is hidden or sacred. The same premise. Is this the same dimension we are talking about? Like in multiverse? 100%. 100%. So we got 300. This is all right. So there's already how many different cultures that are stating the same narrative, the same narrative, the same narrative. Ancient civilization, the Babylonians, the Egypt, China, that have where it's 360 and 5 extra dimensional that would intersect and come in and out of a reality. Tell me that's not crazy, right? Then you have the Gnostics, describes 365 archon rulers. Archon rulers. What we will call in Christianity angels or gate holders or realm keepers. Just using different terminology so you guys to understand how nutty, how crazy, how this is intersecting. It's been on their face this entire time, and no one has connected that. It's truly like that's weird, right? And it was all expanded for it's 365 dimensions, buddy. 365. Look it up. You go find out. Or like a download. It's weird. Book of Jubilee uses 364-day calendar. 365 day is hidden or sacred. Okay? So it uses a 364 calendar and 365 day, fifth day, I'm sorry, 365th day is hidden or sacred. So this is the Book of Jubilee, guys. Who else says the fifth day is sacred? Who else says that the fifth day or the fifth realm is hidden? What we were just talking about. We were just talking about the man, I'm going to touch the screen again here. The Freemasons talk about the fifth day being a secret realm, right? So, and that's not even connected with this, the Jubilee. Really weird, right? The Book of Enoch. Everybody likes the Book of Enoch. Everybody likes the Book of Enoch. Let's see what they say. 365 solar courses and gates guarded by Ural. Ural? I think that's an angel, a type of angel. So that's the book of Enoch, not related to China text. It's crazy how this narrative, basically, these gatekeepers or these guardians that keep the dimensions separate, keep it separate for not over interacting. So that's the book of Enoch. Dimensions 365 solar courses and gates guarded by Ural. I'm probably mispronouncing the crap out of that. But it's the same premise, right? Describes heavenly gates and time portals. Time portals. Metaphor for dimensional access. Dimensional access. Bro, this is what I'm talking about, man. Sometimes you just gotta listen to that little voice in your head, and then you're like, well, I need to do some research and see what, because if you're hearing it here, it's probably been told somewhere else. It's probably, you probably heard it somewhere else, or someone somewhere a lot smarter than you have talked about this, right? All right, now we're going to the Freemasons. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I skipped one here. Sorry about it. I got this section called occult mysticisms. Let's go see what they say. Uh, Theosophy and Blavatsky. Ancient races, Lemuria, Atlanteus, access vibrational dimension daily. Human era believes to cycle through 365 energetic spectrums. What this is describing, guys, so you guys understand what this is describing. It sounds like, I'm going to make a leap of faith here. It's describing like we inherently here have the capability to go to all these realms. That's what it sounds like to me, right? That we have, seems like we have this capability to go to all these realms. And apparently, out of the 365 dimensions, 5 of these dimensions will intersect with each other, which in a brief moment, we will see things, or they were able to, basically, the lines get crossed, right? Out of the 365, 5 of them get crossed standard, right? Astral projection via meditation. I don't know if that was a response to someone else. Sorry, Astro. All right, Freemasons mentions 365 degrees of light. Rumors of high. Just a second here. 365 degrees of light. Rumors of 5 hidden degree linked to universal keys, dimensions. It goes back to that 5 thing. That there's 5 that are open to us that we mess with on a regular basis. That's how we visit other dimensions. That could be possible. That could be possible. That out of these 365, we can inherently go through 5 of them, and we have access to 5 of them, continuous throughout the year, right? So that's really interesting, right? Aleister Crowley spoke of invoking 365 gods within himself, dimensional intelligence. That's so random, right? Aleister Crowley, man, Crowley, like he's talking about this same thing, and he speaks about gods or gatekeepers that keep these dimensions separate at all times, right? Modern and UFO connection. All right, let's see how we can put this together, right? All right. Contactee lore, right? Bashar, blue avian described reality as radio frequency. So here, this goes back to what dimensional intelligence, 100%, 100%. Maria, take care of your brother, please. Thank you. You're the best. All right, so almost done with this, guys. So we have Dolores kind of subjects describes souls moving through layered dimensions of over Earth time. Okay, guys. You have the Montauk Project, right? Alleged mapping certain days easier for time travel, daily dimensional frequency shift. This gets to multiple layers of this where it refeeds the same thing. Like we're talking about this, right? Can you see the future? Some can see ghosts, some can see astral projections, some can remote view. I think we all have that capability. That's the thing. I think we all have the capability, but not all of us are Olympic swimmers. If you get it, you know what I'm saying? I think we're all can inherently walk or run or jog, but we're not all Olympic athletes. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty cool, man. This is that segment. Oh, oh, oh. Sorry about that. I was responding to Astra's response. I don't know why it went like that. What I said, I don't know how far you guys heard of it. I said, I think all of us inherently have that big. All right. So her statement was, let's see here. Can you see the futures? Some can see ghosts. Some can astral project. Some can remote view. My statement was, I think all of us have this capability, but we're not. Not all of us are athletes. Not all of us are Olympic swimmers. We can all swim, but not all of us are Olympic. You know what I'm saying? All of us can run, but not all of us are Olympic status runners. So I think that's what breaks it down, right, guys? So some of us are better than others. I mean, that's with everything. So I think that's necessary. All right. So the Montauk Project alleged mapping certain days easier for time travel, daily dimension frequency shifts. So you got the Montauk Project. If you guys are not aware, that was a government project, right? And they went into some weird stuff. So they're stating that some days are high, easier to go into different dimensions. There's all this stuff is coming back to fruition, right? We're coming back to the reality of that we are inherently interdimensional beings ourselves, right? Our body can go to certain frequencies of dimensions, and we inherently feel better, or we feel worse depending on what frequency levels we go into. And this is an example. Scientists have discovered people that go into types of meditation, they would their healing go up by 30-40%. Their healing, their molecules get into this fast repair state. Like inherently, a higher frequency we go. I don't know how far is good for us and then how bad it gets, right? Because there's people out here that are in a very high frequency or meditative state that their body starts rejecting the higher the frequency is. So there's states to that, right? So what level until it's no longer good to us? I don't know. I don't know. I'm sticking with the dimension thing right now, guys. But inherently, there's studies out there that people are getting in deep meditative state. It promotes healing. It promotes recovery time. It promotes better blood flow through your whole body, right? It's studies out there for all that prove that, right? Food for thought. You might not necessarily pray to a god, but if you get into a meditative state, start your day in that, in your day with that and just get all that cosmic BS or that cosmic what the daily grind is, and get yourself into a good mental state before you go to bed and then before you start your day. I think that's inherently good for everyone at the end of the day, right? Food for thought. All right, continuing else. Steady and mysterious signals. Some unexplained signals occur during the equinox and key calendar days, dimensional overlap. So he's going down on the process. There's certain days of the year that has this segment of overlapping, right? So you have ancient Freemasonry, you have the Book of Enoch, you have the Book of Jubilee, you have China, you have basically talking about you got these certain realms. Touch and listen to your universe. That sounds deep. That basically goes into the same segment of basically there's 5 dimensions that have or either overlap and is easier. Basically, what people state, the veil gets very thin to a point where it overlaps, or you pop in and out. And here's food for thought, because we're talking about this, right? Um, the CERN project started in April, right? And then they shut down the reactor sometime at the later of the year, and then the time before that they started in March. Like they're strategically deciding to turn on their CERN project and do testing and stuff during certain times of the year. You guys see when I'm getting to this, right? That inherently they're realizing there's certain times of the year that is a lot better for them to do these testing or these dimensional tests to see what other dimensions they can find, right? So food for thought. I didn't even I just touched this, right? And now I got section 5 right now. Now I just speculating, right? You said January. Ritual, right? I just said March was a day that they would turn it on. April was another day. So the first, we're going to dimensional uh, correlation table stuff, right? We're correlating all this stuff together now, okay? Calendar day, March 21st, Gateway Day, dimensional traits. You have the Egypt. What is this called? This is like crazy. All right, so March the 21st. You guys might want to put this on a calendar or something. I don't know. March 21st, Gateway Day. The Enox or Egypt. It's called modern effects. You have glitching and downloads, right? You ever had that moment where you have like I've been here before, or you get these mental downloads of clarity? Food for thought, right? July 26th, Galactic New Year or the Mayans cosmology, shift in energy or activities, right? So he's breaking down what may be these 5 day realms of overlapping, where the veil is very thin, right? I would think October be here we go. October 31st. It's the reason why it's Halloween, baby. Food for thought, right? Why Halloween falls in these little strange little spots, right? Where the intersection of realms, the veil is very thin. Crossover day, the Samian Celtics, ancestral contact paranormal. So there you go. That's who's categorizing it. December 21st, time freezes, winter solstice, time loops, vivid dreams, leap day, phantom dimension. So we talked about this, right? The phantom dimension. the hidden dimension, and we corroborated that with the days of the year, right? Leap year. So that's pretty cool. 21st solstice, right? Uh, and how what this same thing. Oh, so this is pretty cool. So he's collaborating. ChatGPT is collaborating the Phantom Day or the leap year. He's collaborating that alongside that during that time, the Phantom dimension is when we have these segments of the Mandela effect happening. For intense Mandela effect, consciousness changing of our dimensions, right? Food for thought. I want to collaborate that with moments in time when things change or when it comes mainstream. How like how once in a while everything goes quiet and then suddenly we have an outburst of a bunch of Mandela effects. What what leap years were those? And if 2012 was that a leap year? Food for thought. I don't know. Just me going down this hole to see if I can make any connections. That's how we got to here with these dimensions, making connections, right? Future development. All right, so the speculation of understanding the dimensions and how they can corroborate for our future and stuff like that, and how we can implement it eventually. Build a daily dimensional. I don't know what that means. Almanac, dimensional almanac. Hmm, that's an odd word. That's an odd word. Almanac. Typing that in there. Almanac. Yeah, so these are the thoughts and the process. I don't have time to make these videos because these are the videos that are going to take a good solid 5 to 6 minutes of explanation and getting you guys on the same page. And as far as then we go down this, and it all started from Ola One's asking about the dimension lady. She stated that scientists have discovered 17 dimensions currently in the CERN project. So, but this little rabbit hole is deep, dude. It's deep, and no one's talking about this. No one's talking about this, and there's a reason why. There's a reason why. And, but then you can collaborate it with a lot of other religious and other aspects of what's going on, right? So it definitely gets us into this combination of information and how one religion or one ancient culture corroborates what we're saying all along, right? Like, or how I don't know if talking to me, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Like, you can ask Astro, man. It's like, man, the audio was messed up for a while, for the longest time. You had echo. I couldn't hear the guest. Oh god, it was. Well, we figured it out, right? You're getting this. It sounds like I looks like I know what I'm doing. It looks like I know what I'm doing, right? Almost does. Almost, right? I appreciate it. All right, so this is future development. Building a daily dimensional and manic. So I think that it was saying what we were talking about, how you want to get yourself into a start your day start your day and and basically start you tune your day in the beginning, right? That's what a lot of these cultures do, right? They do a prayer in the morning and then they end their day in a prayer, but not necessarily. I know prayer is a triggering word for some individuals, right? But if you can get yourself into a fine tuning yourself in the morning and fine tuning yourself in the afternoon, so you're divinely protected and you s- and it would increase your recovery time, it increases your healing capabilities, increases your overall health. That's the premise of this, right? Of what this means to us as far as we are dimensional beings, right? I mean, in the Bible, it's stated a whole bunch of times, bro, you're not from here. You're not from this earth. You're not from this planet. How many times did the Bible said that crap? Like, crazy amount of times, right? No, I typed it down here. Okay, I'm going to type it again. I don't know if it went through. My screen is starting to short as soon as I say that stupid name. Almanic. Armanic. Almanic. I know you guys are probably screaming on your top. It's like, God, it's you say it like this, Knight. You say it like this. Building a daily dimensional harmonic. Harmonic. I know you guys are probably screaming on top of your head. Okay, we're going to leave the word alone because I'm thinking at this point, some of you guys are pretty pissed off right now. All right, this is odd why it would state this, right? For development feature. So it says basically building a dimensional harmonic. I want to say harmonic for all intents and purposes. Uh, so basically building your daily thing, right? Get yourself in tune daily. Track orb sightings and anomalies by date. Food for thought, right? Let's see if that corroborates that statement. Because during the summertime, it increases. During certain times of the year, we have these events of seeing a lot of different stuff, right? So it could be that they're popping in during these 5-dimensional periods on where the realm or the veil is very thin. That's when they're popping in and out, right? Food for thought, right? So it says track sightings on anomalies by date. If you guys are wondering what the dates he's talking about, the dates are okay. That's weird. Some of the dates were just removed. There we go. March 21st, July 26th, October 31st, December 21st, and Leap Day. Leap Day. Well, you guys say leap year. You guys know what month it is. Okay. I want to do some research to see how that corroborates as far as what we're talking about here, because that's interesting, marking those days in the calendar. And then, so that's pretty interesting, right? All right. Another thing here is how it can help us. This preference of engaging followers to track dreams, experience, tech issues by date. So going forward, right? If we can corroborate these times and dates with our dreams, or we can get some, I don't know, something starts showing up as far as what is developing in our dreams, or what segments of the year. I know for me, this is for me. I get these like influence of in August. August is my year, is my month, right? Where I get these like downloads or these like, for me, August feels like, oh, oh, August feels like these moments of interest for me. I don't know why. Maybe it's the Beans encounter with me in August, whatever dimensional being that is. I don't know, man. I'm just speculating here. I just know I get some crazy deep dreams. Example, the dream that came, the dream that came to me every 3 years came to me in August. Of basically these three orbs that were in the sky that talked to me, and the dream ended where it began every 3 years. And I no longer have those dreams, so you guys know. And basically talk to me about what's going to happen in the future, what's going to go happen. It's going to be a time where it's going to be a problem with food crisis and stuff like that, that you need to prepare and learn how to grow your food inside doors or inside without dirt. Very interesting, right? Food for thought. That's not here or there. I'm not predicting anything. Relax. Yeah, gardening inside. And we're talking about when I was getting this information, this was like in the 90s. In the 90s, gardening inside wasn't a thing. Gardening inside wasn't a thing, right, guys? So, all right, so that concludes that theory, right? And this will happen. And also, I got another theory on basically what I believe the visitors that have come to us, right? They let's see if I just put this off here. Yeah, I believe personally the visitors that come here, right? Oh, what's it doing here? Check if I'm verified. Am I alive here? Come on. All right. So when they put this, all right. So they got me saying they detected no activity. So like right now, I'm waiting for the little thing to come up, and it doesn't seem like it came up. Even the time is kind of frozen. Okay, here it is. I'm just gonna wait. Let's see if it comes up here. So you guys know this feed right here was the segment of the news with Area 51, the forest fires that they're having over there, and how that's kind of odd that's happening at the same time these congressmen are talking about uh, visiting the site, right? And how that's kind of odd that they're doing that. And then now News Nation just so happens to be talking about basically these bonfires that they were doing in Area 51 that made everyone sick, right? And then the people that were sick could not get medical treatment because of basically these top secret projects that these guys were involved in that could not get any medication or treatment paid for by the government because so happens they didn't exist. Area 51 didn't exist at the time. That what they've known of Area 51 is that you can't get medical treatment because this place doesn't exist. That sucks, right? So they won their court date. They won their court thing about a few years ago, stating that Area 51 does exist. So they had to admit that publicly, right? So that came a long far as way of them stating that UFOs didn't exist, right? I mean, Area 51 didn't exist. They had to admit in a court of law that yes, Area 51 does exist. So they could get some type of help or some type of medication for, getting cancer from doing these bonfires of unknown chemicals and stuff like that. So, all right, guys, I'm like, it looks like my computer has frozen here. I don't know if you guys can see me still. I got this thing called live will end in 3 minutes. We have detected inactivity during your current live. Complete the verification. Well, I'm in this Doom loading thing, and the little thing hasn't come up. Oh, I did the refresh. Yes, it came up. Did it work? Did it work? Yeah. Sweet. It worked. All right, man. It is 8:29 p.m. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. We're talking about the topics, and we just so happen to talk about one of my theories here. So you guys have a great day, okay, guys? Keep your head on a swivel, keep your eyes to the sky.